but I'm going to hand it over. I'm going to hand it over to John to do a roll call.
Great, thank you. Chair Waldman.
Here.
Vice Chair Corrigan. Janet.
I think you're on mute, Janet.
No, she just.
No, can you hear me?
Now we
Yeah,
can.
you were just very faint. I could hear you, but you were very faint.
Okay. Microphone.
Okay. Commissioner Couture.
Present.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Tasic.
Here.
And Commissioner Janjigian is absent.
Sounds like we have a quorum. All right. And I see we have Pete's iPad here. Pete, are you, before we start, are you available to come off your screensaver and say hello?
Hi, everybody.
And Pete, you want to give us a quick introduction, and then we can do a quick introduction of ourselves to you, and then we'll go on to the agenda.
My name's Pete Daly. I'll be your council liaison. I have some commission experience myself. I just completed a term on Parks and Rec. And some of you folks I know of or know, and some of you I don't. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody and watching you guys work and helping in whatever way you need me to help.
All right. Thank you. And I met you at a meet and greet. It's been several months ago, and I asked if you would support the arts. So I'm glad you're here to help us.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the arts. So public art, private art, all art.
And we'll get some art on the walls behind you eventually.
This is not my house. I am on the road. I have been reading today. I have a board chair for charity, and we had to move offices. So I've been doing manual labor all day.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, we'll forgive you this time. Just to do a quick introduction, my name's Monica Waldman. I've been on this commission, I think 8 years, 9 years. This is my last year. And once upon a time, I had a degree in computer science, and I've been doing art full-time, ceramics, for about 15 years. So that's my my background. I'll hand it over to Janet to do a quick introduction.
Hi, Pete. My name is Janet Corrigan, and I'm familiar with you by virtue of your tenure on the Parks and Rec Commission. So I kind of feel like we know each other. So
yeah, I think so.
But yeah, no, I've been on the Art Commission for, I think it's been about 1.5 years, and my term ends in 2025, and I'm an art aficionado, and I dabble in watercolor. So
okay.
I'm
more of an art historian myself.
That's great too.
Terry?
Hi, Pete. It's Terry Couture. I'm on the Art Commission, as you know. Been on as long as Janet, and I love art, so that's why I'm here. Welcome to our little committee.
Commission.
Thank
you. All right, Dana.
We're more of a working committee than we are a commission.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Donna Tasic. I've been on the commission for almost 1 year now, and I enjoy it because I enjoy art, and I enjoy looking at beautiful art when I'm out and about in Los Altos. So.
And Jenna.
Hello. I have also been on the commission for as long as Terry and Janet. Sorry, my name is Jenna Moore. Grew up in Los Altos, and I have a deep appreciation for art and art history, and I am in interior design.
All right, thank you, everybody. Before we go into the agenda, I do see we have a few members of the public, and it is traditional to ask for anyone from the public if they have anything they want to talk about that is not on our agenda. I don't see any hands raised, so I'm gonna go ahead and, nope, okay, launch into the agenda then. All right, once upon a time, last year, December 8th, we had a meeting, and I hope everyone's had a chance to review the meeting minutes.
I
Are there
move to
any,
approve the minutes of December 8th, 2022.
I will second that. John?
Okay. Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Tasic,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corrigan,
Yes.
and Chair Waldman.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, John, I think this is where we're gonna need your computer skills for the next item, Art Without Walls, reviewing the entries. We had, I believe it was 4 entries last meeting where we were trying to decide either placement or we had some questions. And I saw in the packet, you had all the information, if you could bring that up on the screen.
Yes. Let me. Okay. So, I'm sorry, let me make this bigger. I believe one of the, and I'll lean on the subcommittee, as they were the ones who were making recommendations in this. So one of them was the capital art. If I remember correctly, there was also I apologize.
The one, the fire, the one we were wanting to place in front of the firehouse.
The fire department, yep,
Apologies.
you're right.
Yes.
Which was this one, the tolling of the bell. And then the other
Mhm.
one was way down here. It was the one that you can mount on the wall, which was this
The butterfly.
butterflies
yeah.
in the park. And so, as I'll say, I'll let the subcommittee sort of take the lead as they were tasked to go and come up with some final recommendations, and I can call them back up as needed.
Okay, Donna, do you want me to speak on this?
Sure, that would be great. Yes, we had a meeting and you go ahead. Yes, Joe, please.
Okay. So I'll start with the bell, the one that we intended to put in front of the fire station. So we did select the fire station on Foothill in South Los Altos. For the art sign, it is pretty large. So I went downtown and looked at a couple of sites where we have existing pads, and I don't think that it's suited for anywhere where we have existing pads. So I think the best area will be on Main and 3rd Street. On that corner in front of that store that just went out of business with the rock facade. I forgot what that's called. Or across the street, sort of in front of the bank, is where I thought it would be best suited. And then for the butterfly sculpture, this is actually, we wanted to determine if it was 3-dimensional, and it is just like a flat sheet of metal. So we kind of wanted to discuss with the commission as to if we want to keep this one. If anybody has a site that they have in mind. I know something flat, definitely limits our scope, right? Because it has to go against a wall. So yeah, that's where we've landed with
I
those.
saw Terry's hand went up. Terry?
So I had 2 different people that live in Los Altos ask if we could put it at the Grant Park Senior Center on the wall inside. So I said that I would bring that up today at the meeting. The other place I thought that it would be nice would be inside the new council meeting area, but if there's people that want it at Grant Park, I am fine with either one. So that's
So
my,
they were thinking indoors inside the facility or outside?
yes, indoors on both occasions, yes.
John, could you bring up the measurements again on that piece?
Yes, I was just pointing out it's 5 feet by 5 feet by 4 inches. Let me share screen again. So 60 inches by 60 inches by 4 inches.
So it's not quite 5 feet.
It would take up a good side of a wall. It would be very impactful.
Terry, the people who requested, because I was going to suggest Grant Park on the outside of one of the buildings there. Are they people who use the senior center right now?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think they really care whether it's inside or outside. I asked them whether they cared, and they said they didn't care, but they were afraid that it was gentle, and so that they didn't want it to get harmed by the weather. And I said, I don't know if it would or wouldn't. So I didn't know enough about it to really know. So, but outside would even be better, because then more people will see it, in my humble opinion.
One thing we do need to determine is how to situate it. I mean, how do we like prop it? Do we use like some sort of adhesive? Like, how do we secure it?
Well,
Does it have hanging things on the back of it?
Yeah, and those are great questions. That would be something I'd work out with the artist.
The artist.
I did reach out to the artist and ask if it was able to be mounted to a wall, and the artist said yes, absolutely. And so, I can work out with them should the commission determine to place it somewhere, and we can figure out what the best way to adhere it or to mount it to the wall is.
Do we know?
Well, mounting to the wall, I think, is better than hanging it. Hanging it can only be precarious to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's really heavy too, I mean, that's a pretty,
It's big, so it's
Yeah,
gotta be heavy.
it is big. It depends on what type of metal it is. The artist has just said that it is metal. If it's bronze, it's going to be one weight. If it's something like aluminum or Corten steel, it'll be a different weight. So part of it will depend on what type of metal is used.
So maybe
So
what the subcommittee can do is take a couple pictures of the building and figure out where they think the right spot would be, and then we can go from there. What do you think, John?
Well,
Sure.
can we first figure out if it can survive outside? Because it sounds like, Terry, you're right. I think it would get a lot more visibility if it was outside, but why, let's find out first from the artist if it's okay outside, and then we can take the pictures and show.
So I'm thinking, John, I think if you can go back to the artist, I think we have to put a hold on this one till next month, perhaps. Find out A, if it can go outside, B, what the weight is, and see how to hang this thing. Does it have anything behind it, or how the artist would want it hung, because we don't want to possibly destroy the piece of art when it says price value 28,000 on it.
Sure. Okay. That is fine.
And maybe
Or
the
mounted,
same-
hung or mounted.
hung around it. And then if the subcommittee is comfortable spending a little time over at Grant Park looking at possible locations to hang an approximate 5 foot by 5 foot piece and be ready at the next meeting. I don't want to make work if this thing is not really hangable or not feasible to be hung by us, but that way by next month's meeting, we can make a decision.
Sure. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jenna, if you
And
want, we can go together or whatever you want.
Okay,
Okay, just let me know.
thank you.
And then I think for tolling of the bell of if I have the title correct. I didn't print out the actual, that part of the packet. John, I think we had left it last time that you were gonna ask the folks at the fire station if there was an issue putting that in front of the fire station.
Okay.
Called tolling of the bell.
And I'm wondering, John, were you able to touch base with the fire, the folks at the fire station?
Nope, I missed that. I'll reach out to them.
Okay,
It shouldn't
because
be, we should be able to find a location near there that wouldn't interfere with any of their operations. But I'll just reach out to them and coordinate for sure.
yeah, I think it's not gonna be a problem. But I believe we discussed at the last meeting that, you know, just as a courtesy, we would ask them ahead of time before just showing up and installing a sculpture.
To the right of the two big doors, I think would be awesome, because that's pretty close to where the little thing is that says you can drop off your baby if you don't want it. Sign.
And do we need a pad over there or no? Do we need a pad for it? I'm not familiar with that for station, so I'm asking.
We might, I'd have to look.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so it sounds like we're on a hold on that one. And then the art sculpture that I believe is it 10 feet tall?
Hang on. Yeah, 80 by 13 by 17. Or no, wait, excuse me, 80 by 13 by 17.
80
Oh, you're
inches.
talking about the art.
The art.
Talking about-
the one
yeah.
that-
Yeah, it's 10 feet by 6'3" by 5'5".
Okay. So it is pretty tall.
Really big.
Um,
And you had said Main and State? No, Main
Main
and Third? Sorry.
third. So, let's see, that corner. I'm so bad with my directions. Okay, so either on this side here. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So somewhere over here, there is like a little bench seating area that I wouldn't want to obstruct, although that would be a good place for it. Or kind of where the Arts Los Altos sign is, or even
well, 'cause
over a little bit.
the problem though
Which
with
way?
where
This
Arts
way?
Los Altos sign is there's some planters right there.
Oh, right, right. No, I was thinking actually farther over, like in front of the salon,
Left or
left
This way?
toward
Left.
away from Main. Yeah, so like right there. See that space, like right there in front of the salon?
you saying right here?
Yeah. It's a big enough space.
So I think we can't obstruct right where the car is, the hood of the car, that probably is like a public right of way for people to access the building is my guess. So,
I don't think it is because that curb is painted red.
Yeah, that curb
There's
is
no
painted
parking.
red.
There's no parking along this section here.
okay.
Or
Um,
across the street in front of Chase or on the side of Chase.
I actually like that spot, back where the salon is.
Hmm.
Only because I think it's a better spot.
Yeah, sort of a dead space.
You know, to the left of the two, to the left of where the entrance is, I think would be a good spot. On, you know, in between the front doors and that water meter or whatever that thing is there. You're right there. Good
Mhm.
job.
okay.
Yeah, right there.
So, between where the sidewalk is and the curb,
Correct.
the red, well,
Yes.
they're all red. Curb.
Yeah,
Okay.
not along the wheelchair right away, but out further, closer to the street.
Mhm.
Okay. I would guess, John, and we would need to dig some of that up or put a pad on top of the pavement. I don't know.
Not necessarily. I'll have to look into. Doesn't
It's
have a
actually
weight.
like a pebbled surface, so it's
Yeah, I
not.
think it's an aggregate type surface,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I remember that street.
Mhm.
but we'd still have to probably drill down into it to anchor the piece,
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't be
Uh,
smooth. That's the only thing.
which we'd have to do with a pad anyway. So it's,
Right.
so John, would we need to make a motion to have you investigate if that would be a, acceptable, spot? And if it is, then to contact the artist and arrange for the piece to be delivered and installed?
You mean
Yeah.
maintenance to check?
Yeah,
Yes.
so if this is the if it works out and this is the location that the commission would like, you could do a motion to approve putting it in this location contingent upon, upon it working out. And if there are any issues, I'll come back at the next meeting to report on those and we can talk through them and whatnot. I did want to say there was one other one that I had missed earlier that was still up in the air, and it is this piece here, the Compass Turtle. The commission had not selected a location for this one yet either. At least
I think we had
lineups.
talked about Grant Park. If memory serves me right, I think we had determined the corner of Grant Park Lane and Holt.
Okay.
And then, yeah, because I know we have the 3 Magnifies too. And Terry and I had looked at that other entrance of Grant Park for Magnify.
Right.
Terry?
Correct.
What happened? I forgot what happened with that.
I've
We're
been
still
having
waiting-
issues
We're still waiting
with,
for them to be, that I know maintenance came out there and looked because I showed them where to put it. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
yeah, I'm still having issues scheduling with the artist. And we can't, of course we couldn't pour the pads with the rain, and so it's still there. It's still
And
coming.
then I think we've
It's
I think
still
we've
not
tapped
there.
out. Yeah, I think we've tapped out Grant Park after this. I mean, it's pretty art heavy. I know it's a
Okay.
big park, but does everybody else agree? There's a lot of pieces now at Grant Park.
Well, I wouldn't say that we've tapped it out. I would say that we've made a good effort to satisfy all the South Los Altos people that have been clamoring for art in South Los Altos for quite some time.
Yes.
We're doing a good job, but
Definitely.
they need to tell us if we're not.
So I think we have 2 things here. John, you'll investigate talking to the artist about that piece. And we need a motion for the art piece. Jenna, as one of the members of the subcommittee, do you want to make the motion?
Sure. So I'll make the motion to propose the turtle compass at the corner of Grant Park Lane and Holt, where Obelisk was originally slated to be installed.
I second Donna. I second the motion.
Okay.
John?
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Tasic,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corrigan,
Yes.
and Chair Waldman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that one.
Okay.
Okay. Community center art. We have. Sorry, go
Monica,
on, John?
was
Yes.
there action taken on the capital art piece? Or no? Or was that direction to look into it and then report back at the next meeting?
The capital art piece.
The one that the commission discussed
Third
at Third Street?
The big one,
Oh, art.
art. Yes.
Art. Capital. I say what you mean by capital art. I'm sorry. We definitely need to make a motion on that one as well. I would ask Dana, do you want to make a motion or from a far off land?
We were going to put that, now I've kind of lost track of where we were gonna put it and what we were gonna, sorry about that. What we were, because there was a place we were gonna put it in front of the stone, but then it was
If-
red. So,
No, that's where we want to put it, is to the
Yeah.
left of that entrance, with
okay,
aggregate, pavement.
okay, but not,
Uh,
okay, where the red, no stoppings, sidewalk is, right?
John, just for crispness for the for a motion, do you know the address of that salon?
Oh, no.
I can find that.
I'm trying to see on the side of the building. You could just say Main and Third Street,
It's 200 3rd Street, John.
200 Third
It's,
Street.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then I make a motion to place the capital art sculpture in front of 200. Did you say it was 200
3rd Street.
Third Street.
Third Street? Thank you. It's a little loud in here. Okay. That's the motion. Someone gonna second?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Couture.
You froze. Did you say
Oh,
me?
sorry. Yep, I did.
Yeah, that'll be yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Tasic,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corrigan,
Yes.
and Chair Waldman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
And then you'll let us know if for some reason that space doesn't work, we'll revisit it next meeting.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you for reminding me that we needed a motion on that one as well. Agenda item number 3, community center art. So right now we have a show up that is of children's art. And from our Every Child is an Artist show or exhibit. That show is slated to end, I believe it's March of 2023. So we need to think about what our next topic is going to be and do a call for art. And on that subject, John forwarded me a message from Mary Jo Price, who works with Park and Rec, that one organization, it's a part of the adult 50 plus program called Art Venturers, is interested in doing a show there. I'm not familiar with the group, and I don't know what kind of artwork they do. Originally, we were doing shows, we were doing calls for art and doing shows and not specific to a group. And it may be easier for us to invite groups to do shows, every 6 months or whatever period we do. So I wanted, before we even decide what our next show is going to be, just have a quick discussion. I know.
Who are they
Dana-
again?
They're part of the adult 50 plus program. So I think there's 2 things to talk about. One is, do we want to open it up that other organizations, we invite them to curate their own shows and we assist them. And then how do we pick who goes first and who goes second? This group has approached us, but other groups in the past have actually approached us. Is it fair to let them jump the line sort of thing? And I know Dana, I know in the past, I think you have suggested that we open it up to other organizations that, arts or curate. So I don't know if you're able to get off mute,
Yeah.
but
No, I think that would be, great. We'd have some more variety. Can we do kind of like similar to a call to art, but like a call to sponsors? Something very,
or sometimes they do like a call to curate a show sort of thing.
Yes. And it doesn't have to, maybe it could be like a couple of weeks or a month or something, or for us to get replies from people. Are there specific people we want to reach out to, or how do we get a list of all the potential groups?
That is a good question.
Can I
Um,
Jack, before we start talking about how we, solicit different potential groups, I mean, I want to go back to the question that you had, Commissioner or Chair Waldman, which is, do we want to go down that path? Because I feel like it could be fraught with issues, playing favoritism, who's going to get to do this. I would rather go by topic or maybe by age, kind of like what we did with the last showing where, it was kids, and maybe we do seniors and we invite all senior art people to submit whatever they want. And if a particular group wants to come in, that's great. We invite them and they can submit their art as well. That's my concern. I just would want to make it as open to everyone as possible.
and Janet, that's why in the past, when I originally had pushed for us to have a wall in the community center, that it's a community resource, and I didn't want to show favoritism, and I wanted it open to, members of the community. But as I look at the clock for my tenure, ticking down, and knowing that it is work to curate one of these shows, and since we've been approached yet again for that wall, which there's no reason that organization can't get the wall in the main library either, because that's open to art organizations as well. So I think local art organizations do have an outlet that's within the community already. But I'm open to either way, like sticking with what we've been doing, or maybe this next call we continue what we were doing, and then the next call we reevaluate.
Well, I prefer the trying to keep it with Los Altos residents all. So, children, seniors, I don't know how many groups we can actually say without getting in trouble. So I'll leave it at that.
I mean, to be fair, because we just had a children's, maybe the next one we do, 50 and above, and then we can have this conversation again. Maybe that's a way to, it's like both end of the barbell sort of thing. I'm seeing nods, so I'm thinking maybe that's the way to go, at least for now.
I like that idea, and I know that we've in the public community art engagement events that we've had a lot of interest from the 50 and over crowd, and I think I like that idea a lot.
And any other comments? Any other suggestions?
Is there a way to kind of make a call to all Los Altos residents in a way to cover anybody who just wants to have their art displayed?
Yeah, I mean, we can pick a topic, or I mean, we could just do a free for all, or a topic, springtime, or I'm just thinking what's coming up, or
how about what do you like the best about Los Altos?
Los Altos is my happy place, or something like that, and they can express it in art. That's another possibility. Like Terry said, what do I like about Los Altos? What Los Altos means to me, and then have it open, from the young to the old, and everybody in between.
We just don't have that many spots. That's the problem.
Well, and I'm hoping for the day where we have too many entries. I mean, I hate to tell someone no, but that's the hope, that we have too many.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's do this for at least the next show. We're going to have a general purpose sort of show, come up with a theme. I'm going to suggest that there be a subcommittee, and that we allow the subcommittee to come up with the theme, maybe an ad, and get it out there because by the time we have our next meeting in February, I think it's going to be too late. Because you want to give
No,
people.
sorry, when would this actually be happening? So we can kind of work it back. When would we expect to be exhibiting?
So the current exhibit is supposed to expire. I've forgotten what the date, if we actually gave a date, it was sometime in March. And here we are, it's already end of January. So it's getting a little late to make a call and give people some time.
Yeah, we
the
don't
end-
have enough time.
Wait, March was supposed to be the time that we get the entries or that we put out the call? Sorry, I didn't.
The current show is supposed to come down in March.
Oh, we're supposed to open in March. We're exhibiting in March. Okay.
Yes. So the current show that's
Really
there
quick.
is supposed to come down in March. And the idea is you want to put something
Replace
up.
it right away. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
maybe
Sorry,
is it possible maybe to extend what's up there already just for another month or something so we can have more time? I didn't realize it was coming up so fast.
Yeah, we could try and touch base with the artists, but there are, I don't know, about 16, so it's hard to coordinate with 16, and it's 16 sets of parents. I would imagine that most of them would be more than excited to have their artwork, their kids' artwork displayed for an extra month, but I can't speak for the parents. And it would be.
Well, if other people think that we can get it all together by March, seems really tight to me. But I would say either extend or just not have anything up.
And then thinking about staff, if we extend, that means John or somebody on staff, because we as commissioners are not privy to the personal information, the phone numbers and such of the parents of the current artists, that they would have to contact and pursue the parents to get the okay to keep it up for an extra month.
So Monica,
that,
I have a proposal. Maybe
okay.
What if you appointed a subcommittee to come up with a theme and figure this out and come back prepared to report maybe in a special meeting in 2 weeks or something, or a week, I don't know, whatever the subcommittee would decide. And we could have a quick half-hour meeting to just, give them the go ahead or not give them the go ahead. And then we could get the word out in a couple of weeks, and then people would have a month, maybe middle of February to middle of March to submit their entries. And then we could have, maybe we could even meet at the February meeting. I don't know. I'm just trying to brainstorm about ways to move faster.
So I like that idea, or the subcommittee, we just give them the permission to run with it.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that would work.
I mean, so far, I think our subcommittees have been fairly resourceful and trustworthy. So, any comments? Do people prefer, do they want to review things before we as a commission advertise, or just let a subcommittee go ahead? I mean, I think with our community engagement, we've given them the leeway to go out and to the community with ideas without getting, okay from the commission. So I'm okay personally with a subcommittee going ahead and doing that.
I just think that as a committee, we should agree on the theme, but other than that, yeah, I think the subcommittee should go out and have that authority. Yes, but I think the committee should figure out or should agree on the theme, though.
Okay, so and I think that's a good point. So perhaps we create a subcommittee, have a quick special meeting maybe in about a week or so, and they come back with a theme, and then we let them run with it. John, you're looking a little skeptical there.
No, I'm just trying to think of what I have going on in a week.
You know what? You have another meeting with us.
Yay.
Well, we could maybe do it not on a Thursday. I heard your Tuesdays are pretty empty. Your Tuesday nights every other week. What about
Yeah.
Um, so in order to do this, John, do we need to make a motion to call a special meeting, create a subcommittee and call a special meeting?
We wouldn't need to do it to call a special meeting, but we should have a motion to create a subcommittee, yes.
Okay. And with that motion, do we need to include the members who are on the subcommittee?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is there anybody who would be interested in joining the subcommittee? I mean, I'll raise my little hand.
I'll volunteer, Donna.
Okay, we have 3 volunteers. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we create a subcommittee to come up with a theme for the next community center art exhibit, and John will work on finding a date that is soon, not too far in the future, that we can have a special meeting to discuss the theme for the community center art exhibit. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
John?
there's a motion and a second. Commissioner Couture,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Tasic,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corrigan,
Yes.
and Chair Waldman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, we'll get you some feedback, John. All right. All right, and I've been negligent. I'm supposed to ask for comments about every item on the agenda, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for any comments from the public for our community art engagement project agenda item number 4. Nope. Okay, I will hand it over to the subcommittee. We have someone. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Hi, given the short amount of time to put it together, when you consider a theme, consider a broad enough theme so that people can take something from their inventory and not try to produce something, and you can make it happen a lot faster, like The Good Life in Los Altos or something like that.
Okay. And I agree, it shouldn't be something terribly specific. Okay, our subcommittee working on our community art engagement project. Do we have any feedback? What will we be doing next?
Jenna, do you
Possibly.
want to take it?
Sure. Okay, so thank you, Monica. So Janet and I have been discussing ideas, and initially we were thinking something that was Valentine's Day themed, but then we decided to focus on spring. So we're targeting probably April at the community center, and we were thinking it would be fun to decorate terracotta pots, like little small pots, and we could have all different sorts of mediums. We could have paint, we could have tactile, like gems, pipe cleaners, whatever, just all sorts of things to decorate little planters. And then we could also provide something maybe like impatiens or Terry will know the term. What's it called when they come, like flowers come in like the little cartons, and you can get like a 6-pack.
Oh,
Yeah.
special, the bedding plants.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking we could, purchase
Don't
those.
we have to do all the dirt? You really want to
Yeah.
do all that?
Well, what about if
I think it'd be
what
fun.
about if we did succulents? Because succulents are generally harder to kill. So
Well, I like the fact to actually design the planter. I don't think we need to give them anything to put in it. They can go do all that. Because the planter's going to be wet, maybe, if they use paint.
True.
Or it needs glue. So I just think if we do the planter itself, that's plenty.
Yeah, I think we were just because we've already done painting projects, so I think we were just trying to you know, incorporate new ideas and have something that people can take home and use. But you're right. I mean, they could plant something themselves. I mean, what were your thoughts on that, Janet?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can maybe have it available, but I do think, yeah, I think the point about wet paint or wet glue or something, that's a potential issue. And the one thing though that I like, and by the way, Jenna should get credit for this idea. So this is Jenna's idea. I discussed it with her, but all I said was great idea. And so, but I think what I love about this project is that our most successful, I think, community art engagement event was the one painting the rocks, because we had kids from 3 to 83. So, and I mean, it was families came, it was so much fun. And I think that this lends itself to that as well, because we don't have to age restrict it like we did with the initial event.
Exactly.
But
We
just
would be buying the little pottery pots and all the decorations that go with it.
yeah,
And they're pretty cheap at Home Depot. And I'm gonna add that the way I got into ceramics was I wanted to paint my terracotta pots, and that's how I started. And then I decided to actually make the terracotta pots myself. So I am all for this project.
I was a little ambitious at first, Monica. I was proposing that we make clay pots and then, but yeah, we decided that that would be too, you know.
Well, and this way, if you buy them, they're all the same size. And like if you have 2 kids, they're not fighting over, you got one that's a little, that was made by someone that's a little bigger. This way, they're all standardized.
What we could do is we could buy some poppy seeds, the little packets of poppy seeds, and everybody could take a poppy seed with them, and then they can just get some dirt from home,
Yeah, that's true.
or
So
some kind of flower seed.
The only thing is, it's a little late for poppies that time of year, and don't ask
Oh.
me how I know, because I do eco-terrorize my neighborhood with poppy seeds. You did not hear that. But I think a seed packet with that says, courtesy of the Public Arts Commission would be awesome. And I know they make seed packets for weddings and such as gifts. So maybe we could
They're
look
not
into
cheap
that.
though. I looked into that at one time, and they're like $6 a piece or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not cheap if you have them printed.
then maybe we just do the pots and the art supplies.
I like that idea.
Here's another question. So, Jenna, what do you think about artificial flowers, or they can make their flowers or not? I mean, I like the idea of fresh flowers, but I can see how that with dirt and all that becomes.
I feel like making flowers might be an opportunity for another project, honestly.
Oh, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that could be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that idea. But yeah, I guess my takeaway was I just thought it'd be really cool for people to create something and then to have something grow out of it. That's where the plant idea. And I'm thinking maybe we could still provide a little seed packet, but I could make something. I mean, I'm happy to do that. Just even divide up some seeds and put a few in a little envelope and make a little label. And I think that'd be really meaningful for people to take that home as like a little party favor almost, from our commission. Like, thank you for participating. And
I love that idea. And it could be maybe a flower that's native to Los Altos. I don't know.
I like the poppy idea. I mean, if it's a little late in the season, I'm sure it's fine. And it is our state flower. So, and the seeds are easy to come by. So I think it's a win-win. I imagine that the thing that's going to gate the date is just getting a spot at the community center. We have to make sure that they're not already booked up, but
We can look into that. And I don't know, John, do you want us to look into that, or do you want to look into that? Getting a date at the community center?
I can reach out to them and ask.
And another reason not to have dirt, because you don't want to bring all that dirt inside.
I was thinking it's heavy, it's messy.
Yeah, it's totally messy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love dirt, don't get me wrong, but not inside our beautiful community center that costs $35 million.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
you're right.
okay.
The wet paint would present a problem. So yeah, we could just do a seed packet.
Or they do have an art room. Maybe we can get the art room.
Oh,
Or out in one of, out, we could even try and do it outside maybe.
well, and if we have enough notice, I can just get all the newspapers from work and save them. So we have plenty of,
Okay. John, do we need to make a motion to move forward?
Yes, I would suggest so.
I would invite maybe someone from the subcommittee to make a motion.
Do you want me to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay, so I move that the subcommittee consisting of me and Commissioner Moore be authorized to proceed with the event, another public art community engagement event in April at a date to be determined, that will focus on decorating pots and providing seeds, and the invitations will go out to all ages and residents of Los Altos.
I second the motion.
Okay. Commissioner Tasic,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Couture,
Yes,
Vice Chair Corrigan,
Yes.
Chair Waldman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. All right, on to agenda number 5 item. One of those days. Commission work plan. Before we discuss it, are there any comments on this particular agenda item from the public? Nope. Okay. John, I'm going to take it away and bring up the work plan, or do we
Sure.
want to go over the thing that I sent you?
Let me call up the work plan,
Okay.
which you have in your packet.
Yes. Okay. John, I know that the city council is meeting in February, but we were supposed to meet with the city council, I believe it was beginning of November, it was, I think, November 2nd, to discuss like all the commissions were supposed to meet. Do we have a new date for that?
I have not heard yet.
Okay.
So I would expect that, so the council is holding their retreat February 21st. I would expect I'll know more after that.
Okay.
They're gonna one of the things that they'll look at is future agenda items and scheduling and whatnot.
Okay. Because I still have my presentation that I worked on for it, so. All right, just doing a quick look at our work plan for 2022 through 2023. Looking at our community outreach portion, we have deliverables of everyone is an artist in a hometown haiku. We're gonna have at least one more community outreach event, but we'll do we need to put that, well, paint a pot down as a pending item?
Sure.
We had an established community arts council. We did that, and we did some work with Lava. So I would leave that on. I don't think we've really pursued, we're not currently pursuing that, but I think we're also, the painted pot would be May 2023, not April.
No. I thought the motion was just for April.
It was for
Okay,
April.
sorry.
Yeah.
I thought originally we mentioned it would be May, but okay. Okay, we've got partnership grant program. We had tabled it for until January. I think we're going to table it. I don't know if we need a motion to do this, to table it for at least another month.
Mhm.
Maybe move it to the February agenda.
Sure. Okay.
PR outreach, I think for any of the things we do, which include any kind of community outreach, we will work with the city in order to get the word out. So I think this is just a continuing item. It says ongoing, and I think it's still ongoing. Expand existing public art footprint. John, I sent you an email. Can we just bring it up? Because I had some ideas for that section.
You're talking about your slides?
Yes, it might be appropriate for this section, just to give people an idea of some other things we could be working on or thinking about. So unsolicited, I created a quick slide set for some public art ideas, just to give folks ideas to think about what we could be doing, or other avenues of public art that we could be looking at. And John, I'm going to say ding for the next slide, please. And I'm showing my age by doing the ding. Continuing education, public awareness. We have a brochure, keeping that up to date and making it available. I think we need to, I think at the last meeting we talked about printing it on nice paper, or was it 2 meetings ago? So
Yes.
yeah, we need to make sure that it does get printed and is made available in the community center and at City Hall and such. And we've talked about creating previous renditions of the commission. We've talked about creating an online interactive public art map. And I have some links here. I'm not going to ask John to follow them, but other cities, they outsource their public art maps, and you can click on the map and it'll tell you what the piece is, a little bit about the artist. So that's something to think about if we want to do something like that. All right, John, we'll give the ding. So I'm thinking we should look at finding new kinds of public art opportunities. I was looking at our City Hall, which has a couple stairs, and stair art could be kind of fun. I think it says no skating on the sign on the stairs, which is relevant but not very exciting, and some yellow stripes. And I have an example here of the 16th Avenue steps in San Francisco. It'd be kind of fun to do a little art there, or maybe the walkway right in front of City Hall. Let's give a ding. I don't know if we can do something like this, but the Foothill Expressway, Loyola Corners Bridge, the underpass there, it'd be fun to have either a mural or some light art or something there, because it's a little cementy and not too exciting. And I don't know if we have jurisdiction over that section or if it's Caltrans, but
Nope,
Okay.
that is county right away.
okay. So we'll go to the next slide and then we'll keep going. I'll give a ding. And I was thinking we could put lights there, but I guess I've been outvoted by the county. Go on to the next one. And also thinking about temporary and environmental art installations. Here's some examples. The first one in the left-hand corner, I actually saw, it's in Golden Gate Park, and this is the fellow who did our T2 sculpture that's in front of the community center, and they've the city has commissioned him for another installation. I think it's up right now in the city. It's trees that are lit up, and it's temporary. The other 3 are things that have been in Palo Alto. They show environmental issues. The labyrinth is made out of recycled plastic. The trees, they invited the people to come and paint the trees. It's a paint that just fades over time. It doesn't hurt the tree. It doesn't hurt anything around it. And Double Take was pretty popular in front of the Palo Alto Art Center. Kids would go in and poke their heads out, and the parents would take selfies. So, and these are all temporary. They were just there for short periods of time. So we can think about maybe spots in the city where things would be fun to have, and then they go away, and maybe they're replaced with something else, or we put something else in another part of the city. So, and I'll give a ding. I think we have one more slide. Another thing we could do is look at things in the city that they just look kind of gray. Things, benches, or utility boxes. It's pretty popular to do utility boxes. I have an example of one that's in Dublin that looks like popcorn, and I do love popcorn, so I was partial to that. But John, is that I think that's the last slide, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of good
Perfect.
ideas, Monica.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay, so just some ideas if we're looking at things other than a sculpture or plopping a sculpture down. So just a little PR there. All right, let's go back to our not so colorful work plan. All right, so we've got our walking and bike tour of business district sculptures. Our brochure's been created. John, can we put under the status that, ongoing, keeping it up to date and distributing it? And the possibility of a gateway art piece. We've talked about this in the past, and I'm thinking just keeping it as an ongoing thing. I think there's going to be, over time, there's going to be a lot of more building in Los Altos, and we don't know with the housing element and such where it's going to be and what the needs are going to be for a gateway piece. And this would be a piece that would be possibly, we'd pay an artist to design and make something site specific. And for our call for public art, we should probably update the status because we did the call, it says under review, so it should be that the pieces are being chosen pieces being placed or reviewed. Discussing potential relocation of artworks. I'll leave that as an ongoing because right now I don't think we have any pieces that we're looking at changing their location. So let's go on to the next section here. Website updated with the new sculptures. That's always ongoing. Work with staff to manage loan sculptures. We probably do need to look at researching and documenting the current values of owned, so that should be ongoing. Explore restoration possibilities, that's ongoing, and we are looking at, and John will probably give us an update on the 2 sculptures that we gave the okay to do some maintenance work on. Monitor, recommend, and document actions for loaned and city-owned outdoor sculptures, evaluate lessons learned. Let's leave that as an ongoing. Update art loan agreement, that should be ongoing. And catalog all art in public spaces, city and private. I see that doesn't have a status. I don't know if we should we be cataloging cataloging things that are not under our jurisdiction? That's a good question. Let's leave that maybe as blank unless anyone else has a comment on that. Let's see, next, manage Los Altos Community Center and Council Art, City and the Council Chamber Arts Program.
Monica,
So we have-
my thought on city and private, and unless we have jurisdiction over it, I don't think we should catalog it.
Okay, I'm okay with that, so let's nuke the part that says and private.
Actually, can I chime? I'm wondering, I mean, would it be beneficial though to know where all the art is, even if it's not something in our jurisdiction or that we didn't install, so that we just know what's where? Would that help future subcommittees when they're trying to find placement for art? And also I don't know if it would help the city if they just knew what art was,
But we don't know how long it's gonna stay there. We don't know what their plan, I mean, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff that's on private property, the city has no jurisdiction over anyway, so I'm kind of hesitant for us to spend any time cataloging it.
Plus, then we have to, I think, then we were signing up to also keep the list updated or the catalog updated, and how is that going to really work out? Who has the resources to do that?
I mean, that's a really good point, but what would be I mean, Monica, what were your thoughts when you were thinking about cataloging? What was the purpose of the catalog?
It's a good question because I think the cataloging is actually being done by the brochure. So I'm almost thinking this action item is kind of folded into the brochure, which we said we just need to make sure it stays up to date.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So perhaps, John, we just nuke it and consider it as part of our brochure. Okay. Sorry, my cat is knocking things over if you heard the noise there. One of my cats. Manage Los Altos Community Center and Council Chamber. So we are going to do sorry about that noise. Do another call for art, and that we're looking at March of 2023. So with the previous rendition of the commission, we had okayed, I think it was 5,000 in funds to do a mural video to talk about the large mural in the community center that Linda Gass had designed. Linda touched base with me a couple months ago that she's still in trying to come up with a quote, so we can leave that as an ongoing or at ETD of February 2023. We have our program signage. We have a banner. Art for City Council Chamber. I know the City Council Chamber has been redone. And I said something to John about possibly putting some art up, and I don't think he was convinced that we could do it. I went into the lobby and looked, and I think it's on the side with the men's bathroom. There is a wall there. I think previously there had been a display cabinet there, a clear display cabinet, but we might be able to put some art up there, John.
Yes. Well, no.
No.
Sorry. So
No.
that wall that you are thinking of, and it has a framed portrait of our city council members that go up on it. It has not been hung up in recent years because of the construction. And with the change in the council, we need to change the pictures around and put them up.
I see. Any chance of the new walls have hanging anything up there?
Most of the walls, no, because the panels are
they
special acoustical panels. But I'm happy to if we want to put together a subcommittee to look at other potential options, I'm happy to do that. Because there might be some locations that we can get creative and figure something out.
Or before we do a subcommittee, maybe John, you and I can meet and take a quick look and see if there really is any possibility.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just take a note. Okay. Okay. I just don't want to get people involved if there's like no possibility that there's a spot where, you know, big enough to put anything. So
Monica, I'm not sure there's a space big enough, because when so the council right now is sitting on the one wall, and then the presenters are on the other side, and then there's windows, and the back really I don't think there's any room, but you all can go over there and look. I've looked at too many city council meetings.
yeah, I've only done the city council meetings from home. I haven't gone into the city council during the meetings now that I know that they're hybrids. So I'll try and make an effort to go over there and take a look and perhaps.
Is it usually
over
locked,
there.
John, during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can peek into the windows on the side, you know, like when you're going into City Hall and when you go into planning and stuff, you could peek at the windows on that side and see the whole thing without having to go in.
You can also, you know, anyone can let me know that they're coming by and I can let you in.
Okay, maybe I'll do that, John. I'll come visit. We'll take a look. And then maybe if there's any possibility, John, can we make this a possible agenda item for next meeting?
Yep.
With the caveat that it may be a no-go.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything else that anyone can think of for the work plan? I hear not a lot of comments, so let's go on. John, do you have any informational items for us?
The only item I will have is I think I brought it up the last meeting that the council was looking at potentially ending the emergency declaration, which would affect commission meetings. They talked and met at the beginning of this month and directed that commissions would start meeting back in person in March. So our March meeting will be our first in-person meeting. With the new state laws, well, let me back up. So we've had the luxury of the last couple of years or 3 years of being able to meet virtually without posting teleconference locations of everyone. Under the state law, once the state's emergency order expires at the end of February, we no longer will be able to do that. So any commissioners participating via teleconference would have to have their location posted. So the council has said commissions will meet in person starting in March. So looking forward to getting everybody together and in the same room once again after 3 years. So it should be exciting.
So we'll be in the council chambers?
Yes, our meetings are in the council chambers.
Okay,
So in the past, we used to sit at the table that was below the council chambers. I believe some of the commissions would actually sit where our city council people sit. So and forgive me, I don't know this, but are the tables still there, John, or will we be sitting where the city council members sit?
The TBD.
Okay.
TBD.
Yes.
Do I get a gavel?
Sure, I'll bring you a hammer. My guess is the commission will most likely will meet around tables in front of the dais. Just it's more, especially for a commission like this one, it's more conducive to discussion and you know really working through items. But if you want to sit at the dais, we can probably make that arranged.
Table's fine.
And-
with me.
John, for those of my fellow commissioners who are not aware, in the past, you used to print out the packet for us. Will you be providing that as well?
I am not planning to print out agenda packets.
Okay, so when we come to the meeting, we should have our printouts if we so need them.
Yes, please, or bring it on a device.
Okay. Will you be providing water like the other commissions do?
Sure.
Okay. On the topic of informational items, do we know with all the construction, do we have any more funds for our percent for art?
Yes, I actually just got a report on that earlier today. We have about $500,000 in the Public Art Fund.
Don't tell anybody.
All right, do a
This
little
is
dance here.
this is a public meeting that is being recorded and will be available for all of eternity.
All right, everybody's going to get 2 printed things of poppy seeds. Perfect. Thank you, John. That's good information. And at the next meeting, maybe if we can get an accounting for what we've spent from our fund and what we have left, that would be great. Any commissioners' reports or comments?
I have one.
Go ahead,
I
Janet.
I just thought it was so cute. I was driving by, I guess it's on State Street, State and Second, and I saw what appeared to be a grandmother and her granddaughter the grandmother was taking a picture of the granddaughter in front of Shall We Dance, and the little girl was posing as the ballerina. It was the cutest thing. I almost crashed my car trying to take a picture of it. So, but I couldn't get your photo, but it was really super cute. And it just shows the beauty of art and how it was inspiring this family. It was very cute.
That's good to hear. Thank you. And on that topic, John, do we have any information about possibly moving that piece?
So I've got both of the pieces that are being moved, that one and the mother hen, which is being moved slightly. I've got those in the schedule for the crews to move them. Of course, they have been very, 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 very busy the last couple of months.
Sandbags, potholes, yeah.
Trees and everything else. And so, but like I say, it is in their list of things to do, and they know exactly where they're going and what to do.
Perfect. All right. Any other report or comments from fellow commissioners? Nope. Okay. Any potential future agenda items? Nope. John, do you have anything that we could put on the agenda? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna look at my microwave and I'm only gonna be able to do this for 1 more month. My microwave says it's 6:19, which I think is actually 6:20, but I'm gonna call this meeting and my cat is now on my counter. I'm gonna call this meeting adjourned and chase my cat off the counter.